It was important for us to address the tragedy that has occurred here within our county.
Cobb County Chairwoman Lisa Cupid and Police Chief Dan Farrell gave an update about the death of 21-year-old Kyle Basinga. Basinga had been reported missing February 14th. Days later, his body was found hanging from a tree in Fair Oaks Park.
Having a lot of misinformation out there in the community is also creating to a great sense of unease about what is occurring.
Cobb County Police say the investigation is still active and is being handled by the Major Crimes Unit. Among other things, they looked at surveillance video that showed Basinga entered a wooded area at the park alone, and there are no signs anyone else was involved in his death.
Based on the evidence collected thus far, there have been no indicators that another person was involved in this incident.
Chief Farrell says there was a delay in releasing some information because they had not had a chance to sit down with family members who are traveling from out of the country.
I do understand that when information is limited, the speculation grows. The social media commentary can certainly amplify the uncertainty.
This is 2026. We hope this didn't happen, but we want to make sure that we really pay attention.
Gerald Rose with the New Order National Human Rights Organization says he's been contacted by people across the country. He says they're watching the investigation closely and are planning a vigil Tuesday for Basinga.
We're just going to come together to show unity and pray that this was not any foul play involved in this.
Now, it's 100% understandable that parents or people close to this who just seen this have a lot of questions. They question on if he really took his life, or they refuse to believe that he really took his own life. Because maybe a lot of people, especially when you're close to someone, you put up blinders. You don't really think that they're going through anything because they didn't tell you anything about it. When you think that they would tell you everything that they're going through. But some people can't. And then they turn to doing the worst thing. And then the family member and people who care about them are left wondering, is this truly, they would never do this, and this had to have been someone killed them or racially motivated. At the end of the day, just please talk to people, and then make sure you don't just jump to conclusions. You have to hear what the police say, but then even when the police give out their own assessment and their own investigation, people won't believe it. But let's go over to the next video and just get more details about this whole thing.
Within the last hour, Cobb County police addressing concerns after a man was found hanging from a tree last week in Fair Oaks Park. So 21-year-old Kyle Basinga had been missing since February 11th. His death sparked speculation online, but from the very start, police have said they believe this was a suicide. Investigators said that they're limited in what they can actually release until family traveling from overseas is briefed in person, but they maintain they have substantial evidence supporting that conclusion.
There will be video evidence, evidence from phones, evidence from witnesses that were there. There's physical evidence that has been collected. So there is a substantial amount of evidence that our detectives have actually collected on this. That has not been shared up to this point because we haven't had time to sit down and talk with the family about that.
Now, county leaders said given the nature of the death, they understand the public's concern, and they're trying to balance transparency with investigative integrity and respect for the family.
Having a lot of misinformation out there in the community is also creating to a great sense of unease about what is occurring, not just to members of our community, but to the family.
All right, so here's what's going to happen next. Police say they expect to meet with the family in the next day or so and intend to provide additional details after that.
Now, a lot of things have been happening. Let's go over into not this next video, one more video over this one. So we'll get into this video. This is what is this? This is the In Dispute with Dr. Rashad Ritchie. If you've seen some of his stuff, we'll see. He's got his own theories about stuff and just their own set of investigations. So let's get over into it and see what they have to say. They say that he had a dispute with the police before this. I don't know how far before this, but let's get over into it and see what we can learn from this.
Man found hanging from a tree inside an Atlanta park. Another young black man has been found hanging from a tree. This was last week, this time in Marietta, Georgia. There you see the young man's picture. Police have swiftly ruled it as a suicide. I know what you're thinking. I'll give you as much as we have on this one. 21-year-old Kyle Basinga found hanging in Fair Oaks Park, Atlanta. Now, here's what Cobb County police are saying. Officers were called to Fair Oaks Park, 1465 West Booth Road, around 9:46 a.m. after receiving a 911 call about a dead person in the wooded area of the park, February 18th. Police had witnesses reported seeing him enter the wooded area alone on Valentine's Day, about 4:28 p.m. Detectives found no evidence indicating that anyone else was involved, no signs of foul play, according to police. 11 Alive, the local news outlet with the details, assisting in the reporting. Now, we do want to make this note. The park, it's about 30 miles away from his school, Georgia State University. Cobb County authorities say they're continuing to investigate the case and they're awaiting the medical examiner's final autopsy. Now, Kyle had reportedly been missing since Valentine's Day. His body was found February 18th. Missing persons posters up. A few months ago, Basinga posted, though, an encounter with a police officer who illegally checked his ID without stating a legitimate reason. We do want you to watch this.
Treat me like I'm some crazy ass, bro. A random car drives behind me close like that.
What?
Bro, look where you are. I was on the sidewalk right here. You was driving close to me, bro. Come on, bro.
I'm just gonna tell you again to chill out and stop screaming and don't get in my face, okay? That's the last time you're gonna get in my face.
I'm not even close to you right now, gang. Just give me my I can go about my business. Cause this is low-key illegal what you just did. You just checked me for no reason. What was your reason for getting my ID?
You said you were a student, so I asked your parents.
No. What was your initial
in
reason?
Policy?
Cause you see my hoodie. I have a Georgia State hoodie on, bro.
Right.
What was your reasoning? Did I commit a crime? That's what I'm saying. Thank you. You seen that? Thank you.
It's okay, man, because we got cameras all around here. So you
I
can
don't
see.
know what he done. I just saw you look like you were
Driving close.
do anything.
I didn't do anything.
Right.
So hold on. You don't have no reason to get my ID, right? I'm not doing anything.
Actually, you are a student here, which is what I asked.
With a Georgia State hoodie on?
Right.
So you just go around asking random kids, are you a Georgia State student? Even the kid with a Georgia State hoodie on?
So my heart's already broken because he's gone. Now it's broken because we lost a future leader. Everything he said in that footage right there, to me, a layperson, not a lawyer, made sense. Is it related? No, we're not saying that. I don't know. But we wanted you to see more. He felt enough to post it, so we showed it to you. How about the family? They've spoken out. According to 11 Alive reporter Chase Hull, who spoke to Basinga's family, they're not focusing on speculation that his death may have been foul play. The quote, right now, online speculation is the least of our worries. We're focused on burying our son, and I'm happy to have found him, the family said.
Now that's we're not going to watch this whole thing. If you want to go back and watch it, you can. Let's go over to one more video just to finish it up. We're going to go back one time.
Park. Cobb County Police.
Where we actually hear some residents talking about it. So let's get into it.
Park. Cobb County Police have ruled his death as suicide, but some members of the community tell 11 Alive's Stefanette Haynock that they're still not convinced.
4 days after the body of missing 21-year-old Kyle Basinga was discovered at Fair Oaks Park in Marietta, parkgoers on Sunday still wondering what happened.
Somebody had to see something, somebody had to hear something, and everything and everybody is just quiet about it. We can say anything is possible, but do I believe throughout the history of this country that young black man did that to himself? I'm going to say no.
On Tuesday, the New Order National Human Rights Organization will host a vigil at the park at 11 a.m. to honor the life of Basinga.
I have to say something because this is my backyard. I can't be an activist and something just took place in my own backyard and not say nothing.
Cobb County Police say they are investigating Basinga's death as a suicide and say based on evidence, there are no signs of foul play.
We all do understand that we don't know what happened. It's just the fact something did happen. A young man lost his life, and we just want to make sure that we get to the bottom of this.
Whether it's a suicide or whatever, now they're concerned about their child. But I want them to know that the Black community is concerned as well, that we care.
I'm Safina Chainok, 11 Alive News.
On Friday, 11 Alive spoke with the family of Basinga and asked them about the speculation online surrounding the circumstances of his death. The family said in a statement, right now, online speculation is the least of our worries. We are focused on burying our son, and I'm happy to have found him.
Now that's the main thing that most people would care about, that they found their son because he was missing since Valentine's Day. And they actually, but to get this information that he killed himself, I would like to know if the family had any inkling or has he ever showed any thoughts of suicide? But we have to understand that it might have never shown. He might have never shown it to his family. He might have kept it buried inside. But it also is possible that they have to go through the investigation, but it's possible that it wasn't suicide. And we have to just keep our minds open, let the investigation run its course. But the question is, will the people believe it when the investigation comes to an end, or are they just going to think that they're just trying to sweep it under the rug? Let's go over into the AI breakdown just to finish it all up, see if there's anything else we missed. So as we know, on the 21-year-old of Georgia State University student was found dead in the Fair Oaks Park in Georgia on February 18th. He had been reported missing since the 14th or the 15th. So he was found hanging in a tree in a wooded area. The authorities have stated that there is no signs of foul play and are currently treating the death as a suicide. There is substantial evidence, including surveillance footage and witness accounts, showing that he entered the wooded area alone on February 14th. So the case remains open and pending the final autopsy. So the manner of his death, hanging in a tree, has sparked intense community concern, of course, with many online and local activists drawing parallels to the historical lynchings. Organizations like the New Order National Human Rights Organization and local residents has held vigils and demanding more thorough, transparent investigation. The family has expressed that they are focused on grieving and burial arrangements. Now, my first thought when I seen this was the case of Trey Reed. I spelled that definitely wrong, but there are some similarities. So we got the Kyle and Trey. They were both university students. So Kyle was a student at the Georgia State University and Reed was at the Delta State University, and both 21 years old. Both men were found hanging from trees in public or semi-public areas. In both cases, law enforcement quickly stated that there was no signs of foul play and initially ruled the deaths as a suicide. The families in both cases expressed concern over the official narrative. Reed's family reportedly received conflicting information, leading them to hire an attorney for the independent autopsy. Both incidents triggered viral online claims of physical trauma which later disputed or unconfirmed by official medical examinations. So there's a lot of social media claims going about this case right now. I haven't seen any about any foul play or marks or anything like that, but we might see some. So we got the public reaction. Both deaths have been deeply shaped by the South's history for racial lynchings, which activists argue that suicide by hanging is an unlikely choice for a young Black man given the traumatic legacy. I don't really know what a man would go through when he's trying to end his own life, because I have never thought about it myself. A normal thinking with me would be a gun, but I have no idea what someone would do when they're deep down in that place. But overall, so we know that Trey Reed, the official autopsy, stated that it was confirmed a suicide, and an independent autopsy funded by Kaepernick was completed, but the results have remained private. And then we know the investigation for Kyle is being active, and we're still waiting for the autopsy to be completed. Overall, what I have to say is, at the end of the day, look out for your family members. Talk to them, see if they're ever going through anything. And then don't be swept away by social media viral news that people will say, oh, there was marks on the body. Wait until an official police statement has been issued. But some people will say that the police are lying about it. But if you always think they're lying, how can you trust anyone? It's a crazy situation, y'all. Let me know your thoughts on that situation. Let me know if you disagree with anything I said. Let me know if I'm not making any sense, or if I'm just, some people say I'm drinking the white man's Kool-Aid. That's what they'll, that was just a saying. I don't never even heard that saying before. That just popped in my head. But let me know your thoughts on that situation, y'all. Let me know if you disagree with anything I said. We're going to pivot over into the last, hold on, let me